A world where sound-sensitive creatures now reign. You must be still, stay silent, hide, or they'll attack. This is a quiet place. For today, I'm doing a scene analysis and breakdown of the following scene. As you can see, the very pregnant mother, also known as Evelyn, is at home by herself. She's preparing the nursery a bit, but stops abruptly when she seems to have a pain in her abdomen. This is when we see her look of true pain and horror as her water breaks. She certainly can't give birth alone, and certainly not without making any sound. In an instant, Evelyn decides to go to the basement of the house. However, on her way down the stairs, she is met with a small problem. She steps on a nail and drops a picture frame. It shatters and scatters the floor, making a lot of noise. She takes a second, now worried that a creature had heard this kerfuffle. She slowly removes her foot from the penetrating object, and then moves quickly to switch the lights to emergency to signal to her family members that there's been a problem. After looking to go back up the stairs, she witnesses the creature prowling around the house. Out of panic, she frantically looks for a diversion. This scene is super engaging as it gets the viewer right on the edge of their seat as soon as the scene starts. It's just a compilation of bad things happening. The viewer is nervous for the poor, alone, injured Evelyn, just longing to know what's going to happen to her. In the very first part of this scene, Evelyn is exploring the nursery when she realizes she's about to go into labor. This angle is eye level, and it allows the viewer to feel a connection to the emotions the mother is going through. We see her body language change, and we see the worry creep onto her face. She knows she can't do this alone and needs to capture her family's attention for help. Having this shot at eye level shows that we can connect to the mother. We feel her hurt and anxiety, and we feel a transition from joy and excitement to pure worry. The viewer feels what Evelyn is feeling and the oh no sensation that she must be experiencing. Having her facial expressions visible and the abrupt change creates the mood of being scared, uneasy, and extremely worried about what may soon happen. Soon after, she decides that the next step would be to alert her family by going downstairs and notifying them. As she makes her way down the basement stairs, the camera zooms in on a nail sticking straight out of the floorboards right as she steps on it. This is an extreme close-up shot as the focus of the frame is the nail impaling the foot. This shot signifies that this really made the life of Evelyn that much harder. She's now not only going to be forced to give birth in silence, but also stay quiet with a nail lodged in the arch of her foot. Think about how painful that must be and how hard it must be to stay quiet. It adds to the gut-wrenching feeling of the abhorrent mess. We know that these are just the incidents leading up to the climax, and the climax is going to be so intense. Evelyn has even grown that much more in the little bit we've seen of this scene. The fear, horror, and disgust all made from this one instant of her piercing a nail through her foot. Along with the clip of poor Evelyn stepping on the nail, there also subsequently comes the clip of a glass picture frame shattering. This is one of the most significant sound effects in this scene because it really kickstarts the chain of the following events. Things keep getting worse, and now she knows that if there weren't already creatures going to come after her when she gives birth, now they most certainly would already be on their way. This scene causes the audience to jump back because of the sudden, unexpected noise. Throughout the entire movie, hence the name A Quiet Place, there's little to no sound. So when something finally breaks loose and makes it a noise, the viewer is startled. As well, we know that this really sets the anxiety-filled mood. We know that these disgusting creatures will be lurking around the depths of the house any second now. It's foreshadowing that they will soon attempt to find the fabrication of this shattering, and it's soon going to be really bad luck for Evelyn. After taking a second to gather herself slightly, she makes her way to the light switch box. This shot is a medium to long shot, and it really validates our thoughts to how she must be feeling. She's limping, hobbling in a high degree of pain. Not only is she attempting to keep the weight off of her injured foot, she's desperately clutching her lower stomach as well. She's clearly started contractions and is going through a lot of pain. All this pain while making no sound. Evelyn isn't taking her sweet time though either. The viewer retains the strong sense of urgency this poor mother has. She needs to get to this light switch to warn her family and to get help. We're absolutely on edge, feeling so sorry for her, anxious for her, and desperately wondering what is going to happen. Once Evelyn gets to the light box, the colors change from white to red. This choice, specifically red, signals to her family who may be seeing it that there is something wrong. They don't know the danger of the situation, but they would see that there is an emergency. Evelyn needs their help. Nobody is actually safe in this situation. Not Evelyn, not her family outside, nobody. There could be creatures coming from any direction. This abrupt change from white to red shows the drastic difference between being content and happy at home to code red, get home ASAP. Not only does red signify an emergency, it also shows violence. This is a small bit of foreshadowing, showing that something is most definitely going to happen soon, and whatever happens is going to be horrifyingly violent. After sending this warning signal, Evelyn makes her way back to the staircase. In this super quick snapshot of the scene, she realizes that this is really, really bad. Now she's injured, about to give birth, and being stalked by a terrifying creature. Where if she makes any single sound, she won't just be at risk anymore. She'll die. This shot is a low angle, showing the drastic power difference. In no way does Evelyn have the upper hand here other than her sense of sight. The creature is lurking around her house, and she's alone, absolutely by herself. It has the power over Evelyn, and she has to be extremely careful. One wrong move, and she's done. This clip makes the viewer even more nervous. The nerves they feel, the uneasiness, all leads back to this sense of being stuck, feeling vulnerable, alone, and simply unable to do anything to fix the situation. Along with this super quick clip, there's the sound that the creature makes. It's just disgusting and haunting and disturbing. A bone-chilling, spine-shivering screech that causes immediate discomfort for any viewer. We know that there is almost a guarantee that there will be some sort of conflict between Evelyn and this creature. The character versus supernatural horror that only comes in the most intense and scariest of times. It also really grows the atmosphere. Evelyn is not safe whatsoever, and there's no room for any mistakes. There's doom growing, bad coming, and a sense of dread that just washes over everything in the scene. Evelyn is trapped by this creature that has power over her, and there's no simple way to get out. One way Evelyn thinks to distract the creature is by looking for a diversion. At first, there's no real indication what she may be looking for, but all we know is that she's looking on this shelf in her basement. While she's searching, she grips onto the shelf, clearly full of agony and pure worry. We can see this because of the backlighting. This shot shows that this area that she's searching is very dimly lit, and it's going to be a huge struggle to find what she's looking for. It also makes the scene very eerie. The absence of bright light shows the discomfort and abnormality of what is occurring. She's sweating, she's full of pain, yet she also still has hope for this thing that she's looking for. We can see the dampness of her face because of the backlighting. It's like the beads of sweat are glimmering as they cover the area of her face. This mood is very eerie simply because it's off balance. The light isn't bright and it doesn't cover her whole face, causing the viewer to experience a sense of wrong. This also makes us ask questions. What exactly is Evelyn looking for? Will she find it? Will it work as a diversion? Will she glance past it because of the simple absence of light? Will she make it out alive? How will she deliver this baby while making no noise? Well, I guess the only real way to find out is by watching the end of the movie. We wish you the best of luck, Evelyn. This is A Quiet Place.